Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends. So the multi-part event, Beneath the Sands, the first part has just completed. And if you're able to finish that event, then you got yourself the epic hero Ramzes. And this is a hero that will be useful in collecting additional points for the second part, which is happening right now, Beneath the Sands, Growing Power, where you can level him and send him to 6 stars, get his awakening, and also level his skills to get additional points to collect the tokens that you can then use in the third installment of the event, where you'll be able to collect at least 1 or maybe 2 legendary relics. So I wanted to talk about the hero. I wanted to give you my thoughts on his skills, his loadout, and then we'll talk about what I think about this hero.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion.
All right, so let's talk about Ramzes. Let's talk about his skills. He is a collection hero, meaning that he's the hero that you use in a multi-part event, and they generally haven't been that great. So let's talk about his skills and let's see if that is still the case. First thing to pay attention to, he is a warlock type. We've seen a lot of these heroes in the past now. A warlock hero is a type of hero that has high speed and high mana gain. We've seen this in rangers and also wardens, okay? And so the recent heroes that have come out from Gemstone Legends have all been focused on speed and high mana gain. And so for him, if you take a look at his special ability, he has a 100% chance to remove 4 positive stats from an enemy. This is going to be his primary usage. So as an epic hero, being able to remove up to 4 statuses is actually a really good thing. The thing to keep in mind here is this is not a guarantee to remove all 4 at the same time. It's not a wholesale deal, okay? So you have a chance to actually remove from anywhere from 0 all the way up to 4 positive stats. Every single one of those stats will go through an accuracy rule. Okay, and so that's the first thing to pay attention to. The second thing is he does deal damage to a single enemy. So he is a single enemy damage dealer, and that's actually a good thing for the most part because you're able to also get some damage while you remove the stats. Some of the other heroes that you've seen that do remove positive stats with something else, usually it comes with like a silence or something, but this one is an attack. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's good that you can actually dispel some positive stats and deal some damage, and if you're going up against like a yellow enemy, you can get some good damage there. But if you're up against like Rosalia, then you can deal damage and immediately die. So that is a little bit of a drawback. The other drawback he does have is his passive ability, in that he deals less damage for every positive stats affecting an enemy. I've never seen that, where you actually deal less damage based on your passive ability. It usually is that you'll deal more damage if you have more debuffs. But in this case, I think what the intent is that you debuff, you dispel first, then you have the maximum amount of damage potential. But if you're up against, enemies that are very heavy on positive stats, like Streetbog on the team, you're usually going to get up to like, 8 to 10 positive stats. So that means you're never going to be able to dispel everything. And let's say Streetbog does 10 positive stats, you remove all 4, that's still 6 positive stats on the enemy, and you're going to deal 2% less for every stat. That means 12% of your damage is wasted when you try and use him, and so you're not really going to be using him as a damage dealer, to be honest. He does restore health and mana if you are able to kill an enemy, and so that means that you're able to you'll be able to get back your mana easier if you can kill an enemy. But I just don't see how you're going to be able to use him really in like an arena fight or in a war fight where he's going to actually be significantly useful. The other thing is his relics selection is not great. For whatever reason, the number of relics that are available to him, it's just not that great. If you look at the legendary ones I have, they're all for tanks. And then the only one that is attack based is Damned, which gives you increased attack and increased critical rate. And he does deal more damage to yellow enemies. So that is one option. Otherwise, you just have the rares to select from. So he doesn't have great relic selection. And I think that his passive ability really kind of hinders him a bit more than it helps him. He doesn't have additional damage boost. So what you get is just the based on attack. And so what I would recommend in terms of the loadout here, you see that I have used curse set for all of them. I actually tried this. I actually put in attack for the armor, but I think that, if you don't care enough about the attack, you could actually just try and use him as a full, as a full-on dispeller, and you can try and give him more health. But as a warlock, you generally kind of want to cater to his speed and to his ability to dispel. And so you may also want to try putting a swift set on him just to get him that much faster. However, I just don't think that he is going to be that big of a difference maker in terms of the damage. Maybe it's always nice to have additional damage, but it's just that I wouldn't count on him. I would use him more as a utility hero. Compared to a lot of the epic heroes, what I like to do is I always like to sort of compare apples to apples, right? So if you have like epic heroes, if you look at some of the other comparisons that we have, Nezette is, I think, one that comes to mind. So what she does is she also deals damage to a single enemy, and that's all she does, right? So she has higher value there, but she also ignores defense. So there's a way for her to ignore defense to deal even more damage, right? So she's a mage type. She really deals damage, and that's kind of like what I look at. And then you got Fimbor, who is also a really strong damage dealer, also removes positive stats and deals almost the same amount of damage to all enemies, okay, and does more damage, right? Depending on how much if there's more if there's positive stats against on an enemy, he deals more damage, okay, and even further damage if the opponent have above 50%. So he is really more of an attacker type. You could argue that Ramzes is a warlock type and therefore not really focused on the damage, and that is exactly why I say he is more suited for his accuracy. Like, it's better to just fit him with more accuracy. And so Ramzes, to me, I think, he's going to have a hard time finding a space if you treat him as an attacker. But if you treat him as a dispeller, he does a much better job than Fimbor, right? And there's really no other heroes that are capable, at least the purple ones, that are going to be able to dispel quite as much as he does. And so as a utility hero, more than attacker, I like him. But as an attacker, I think he's just mediocre, and I think that he kind of has his passive ability going against him. And so that's my personal assessment. Let me know what you think about the hero. I'm interested to hear what you think. And, if you see him useful in other situations, please feel free to comment below and let me know your thoughts. So that's going to be it for me for today. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.